what in the world has happened to this? Why are you like that? How'd you get so tall? Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Second City. Right now I'm just looking at this beautiful college campus, Trafford College. I'm a huge fan. There is one small, just quick, very fast update I need to make. I have this one-way alleyway. I did not realize that when you have a one-way alleyway, there's parking. So instead, we're going to upgrade it to a 2-lane alleyway. It's also going to push some cars over here into the Trafford College American football field area, which I'm very excited about. But I don't want cars parking right in front of the train station. So what are we getting into today? So first, I want to start decommissioning Warehouse Bend and beginning to move some of that industrial over by our incineration plant. In addition to that, I want to also be building out a power plant today. So all that's kind of like the industrial section. That's the first part of this video. Then we're going to get into doing some zoning in South 2nd. We might even consider splitting that area into 2 districts. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I want to get a little bit of work done down in South 2nd and begin to see what that area looks like as people begin to move in. And then I also want to start working on the train connection into South 2nd and where that central station is going to go. So we're going to get a lot done today. Let's head over here. We do have a building that burnt down, so there's not much I can do about that at the moment. I am just going to come over here and bulldoze it, get rid of it, and then like to live somewhere like a building. Well, unfortunately, I can't help you with that. So what I want to work on is I want to begin to decommission Warehouse Bend. At present, there are 4,435 employees. The reason we're decommissioning this is because I want to see this area become a part of the city in terms of residential, commercial, office, and begin to push the industry out of the way. This is going to become some prime real estate. The one problem we do have, though, is that this area is going to have terrible ground pollution. Okay, Warehouse Bend has now been cleared out. There is no more industry in this area, which means we've now lost over 4,500 jobs. And I bet you if we look here, yeah, we've got a 30% unemployment rate. So what I want to do is correct that. The first thing we're going to do, though, is before we go any further, we have an an avenue here, Concord Street, which comes up, and then because there was so much development over here, it just turns into a smaller road. I'd also now have a other road here called Garnet Street, which is eventually going to become an avenue. So I want to combine these two and get them both to be avenues together. I think if we go like this, honestly, I think we just delete this central section. Let's then reconnect this up with a new road. And then we can upgrade this down to this point. And then I think we just connect these two like naturally together like so. We're kind of following the contour lines in a way. The question is, do we curve it? I don't think we do. I think we make this like a perfect, kind of a sharp bend. But now we've got one long road, Concord Street, which goes along the highway all the way from South 2nd up to this area. All right, now that we're here, I think it's time that we begin to figure out what we're doing with our industrial zoning. Now that looks horrendous. So can I just do constant slope and send this straight along? Like, is that gonna fix that? It does. That looks much better. Okay, first thing we're going to do is, if I recall, we are having some power issues. We're not producing enough, and I think one of our problems is that we are currently running off of 2 small coal power plants and our incinerator. We have the money. I think we upgrade to a gas power plant. This costs $650,000. Maybe before we do, let's just see what other options we have. Nuclear is 8. I don't think we can afford nuclear. Where's nuclear at? Nuclear, 5 million. Okay, yeah, we definitely can't afford nuclear. There's also geothermal, but I don't think we can do this. Like, solar 1.5, geo is 750. It can produce up to 150, whereas the gas power plant does 250. I know it's not going to be clean, and it's definitely going to cause issues in terms of pollution, but I think we build this out here, and then we work our industry around it. Let's place this just like so. Cost a ton of money, I'm aware. But I think with this in place, we can then build out. I wanted a regular road. We can then get more people employed, have some additional electricity that we can then sell to our neighbors, and all around, I think, just have a better zonable area here. Let's get the contour lines on. I'm going to take this out a little bit further, and we're going to curve kind of matching this contour line. We'll go straight here, and then we're going to also do a curve along this road as well, I think to here. This is going to be a little bit strange, but I'm essentially just trying to, you know, fill in a little bit of this area as much as possible. I don't know if it's going to look great, but it's going to be something. It's going to be something. Let's do that. I think that's pretty decent. It's interesting for sure. And then I think over here, this all goes downhill, but we desperately, desperately need some more industry, more jobs. So I think what we plan to do is we just grid this. We don't really pay all that much attention to the natural bends of the land. I think that because this is industrial, we can kind of fudge it a little bit, you know? Let's send this straight on up from here. I'd love this to be at the 90. Perfect, but it's got to be just right. I mean, we'll do that. That's fine. Then I am, you know, I'm tempted just to say, okay, now we just come up from here. Go with the 90. It's roughly there at the 90. And then this one's like roughly there. Almost. Bam, bam. Now we need to get this guy plugged up because at the moment we're not actually producing anything. I don't think I left myself enough space here. I did. At least on this side. Can we just turn everything off and come over like this? No, I didn't leave enough space on that side, but I did leave enough space over here. So I say that's connected over, it's connected around. Let's bring this down to here. At the first opportunity, let's cross on over and then let's just connect it right on in. Let's snap to, I guess we just turn everything back on. I basically want to just connect right to that. That will then send all of that power down to this station. That might be too much processing power at that one station. Not entirely sure to me if that's going to be okay. I am going to turn anarchy. Oh no, we don't even need anarchy on. I just need to get these lines connected to one another. So let's do this. While we're still on pause, let's send another one of these power lines, I think, over this way. I did not realize anarchy was on for most of this. Let's send it to here. Let's see if we go up. Can we go over? Can we actually cross over this? I don't think we can. So why don't we do this? At this point, we're going to go underground. Let's take a power line. Let's connect it up to this guy here. And I think we take this all the way along really the edge of the road. We're going to mirror the road, but we are not going to go underneath the road. Why? I don't know. Go to here. Let's then curve this power line over this direction. Let's connect it up there. So now if I hit play, we should see power kind of course all the way over this direction as well. There we go. Okay, so now we got power going through the base of the city. This is moving and grooving. It's working its way. Let's unpause and let's just get a sense. This is producing 338 megawatts of power. Let's check on our production here. We're producing 408, but we're only consuming 69.3. I think this means two things. Thing number one, it means we can get rid of these power plants. I don't think they're necessary anymore. Cuts down on some of that pollution. And it also means that, oh, turn on anarchy. There's something in the way. It also means that these new people are going to need jobs closer to where we're working now. closer to the new industrial section we're building. All right, this is still connected outward. We're going to leave this alone for the moment. It looks like we are sending a ton of power out that direction. But even with those 2 new stations gone, we're doing just fine on our power production. What kind of impact is that having on our budget? Service trade, exported electricity, $567,000. Okay, I am just curious. If we go to electricity cost us $871,000 for maintenance and resources. But with the fees and with the export, we are able to bring in enough to almost nearly offset that. I almost want to reduce this to 100%. And let's see if at 100%, we are able to produce enough. We're still producing 293 megawatts. So our electricity has actually become a profitable business for us, which is just crazy. I also think that we begin to look at reducing the service fee. Let's make that service fee 70%. Sounds crazy, but we're still making money from our electricity. And now people are happier, the company is more efficient, and we're consuming less electricity overall. For now, we do need to place back in all of these industrial jobs. We are just going to come over here and fill this whole area with industry. Okay, I took a few seconds and I decided to, instead of just having it zone out like this and seeing what it looks like, I decided I would give it a shot where I go in and I hand place the buildings. It looks great, except for I am having some problems with buildings being abandoned. I think it's because I placed some level 5 industrial manufacturing, which I don't think we were ready for level 5. Some of these buildings are not finding people. Others are doing just fine. So we'll see how this holds up. I don't necessarily have high hopes. But for now, Northfield has 2,481 jobs, which is great. Although it is a far cry from the number of jobs we had previously. I could spend more time over here doing some tree work and some detailing. I think I might do that in either a different part or in like a members only video, just to kind of, fill in some of the gaps here and make this look nice. There are some buildings that look, these are the Japanese commercial. These look fantastic. I mean, I'm a huge fan. So I got to figure out what to do here. For now, we've got some abandoned buildings. I think we might just delete these. Let's just see. If I go to where industrial buildings, let's filter by depth. I want the depth to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or excuse me, that's width. Width can be all. I want the depth to be 5. I want the building level to be maybe like level 2. Extra filters are so many. Wow. Okay. Manufacturing. It's a little bit smaller than what I was thinking. I really liked like this. Can I place this here? And then can I also hold anarchy and place this here? Then can we use move it to just shuffle these two over here? See, more things have gone abandoned. No one's moving into these. Huh. Strange. I guess what we'll do is this. We'll place, some zonable spaces underneath. If you can... Oh, my God. Okay, we're walking away. So we're working on a new industrial area over here. I just spent all that time making this look so nice, and now no one even is moving into these buildings. Maybe it's just these, like, warehouse buildings? I have no idea. But... this is a new place for people to start working. I don't know if we've actually helped any with our unemployment, which is not ideal. But let's come back over here. Warehouse Bend, for the time being, what we could consider doing is making you into a bit of an office park. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in these 2 rows with some office buildings here. We'll fill in this back row with some office buildings. Let's get rid of all of this. Along this central road, we'll do some low density commercial. We'll do some low density commercial here. Now, keep in mind, all of this is likely to change. All of this is likely to change. I am just trying to offset some of the unemployment we're seeing in our city, while also kind of meeting some of the demand we have, making sure we have enough jobs available. And honestly, right now, we can't do any housing here because of the pollution. So we can slap down a few commercial buildings and a few office buildings and see what happens there. I think if the buildings here go abandoned, just delete them. Like, I don't know what else to do. We're going to make this work just in the future. Now I think it's time for us to do a bit of zoning over here in South 2nd. I actually want to break South 2nd up into 2 different districts. I think we're going to move this district down to here. Just kind of line it up with Piper Street. Let's get rid of this area here that's following along the highway, and instead let's bring it along this major avenue. I think I like that a lot more. Then we have this new area which we can turn into a district. Let's turn off snap to the roads. We can turn this into a district that I think is going to hold our new train station, which we'll get to in a minute. But first, let's get some zoning done over here in South 2nd. Now, unlike what we've done in previous areas, before we do any zoning with houses or anything like that, I want to make sure we take care of our services first. Now, healthcare-wise, there is honestly great coverage and availability. Let's check out our current healthcare systems and see if any of them are over encumbered. The Briarwood EE Medical Clinic is doing just fine. What other medical clinics do we have? Looks like we have, we have a crematorium there in the center. How about this guy? That's completely filled, this small medical center. That's like hardly working anymore. So honestly, we probably need to, it doesn't have an operating district. That's part of why. I'm debating, like, do we build one? I kind of want one. I really like the EE medical. I mean, this to me is just like the perfect medical center. This one here only has 100 patients, which I don't love. Let's build another one of these. I do want this to be somewhat centrally located in South Central. We could consider placing it right along here. I think could look nice. It's pretty close to this roundabout, easily accessible. What side? I think we place it along this side because it can get nice and close over here to this road. Let's select operating districts. Let's do South Bend, Manor Glen, Cypress. We'll also have this be kind of like a major medical center for Middle Peak and Dickinson Narrows. And it kind of just like breaks over into this area. Now, behind this, I would love to see some type of parking over here. I don't yet know how we want to do that. What we could consider doing is we could add a key wall along all of this and along Beach Street, I think. Let's do it like that. Let's flatten this entire area inside of this little section. Right? Okay. Remove that rogue tree. Now, I think what we do is we bring in an alleyway, two-way from here, straight on up. I do think we would remove the crosswalks here just so that you can walk right on over into Crescent Lane. And then let's see if we can figure out what we want to do back here. So I don't want a one-way alley for sure. We could do angled parking like this. We could even potentially get away. I was going to say we can maybe get away with 2. I don't think we can. There's also perpendicular parking, which I think that makes a little bit more sense to me in this area. Then we have 2-lane divided, and we could do a much larger set of parking back here with sidewalks and stuff. I just don't know if that totally makes sense. However, with the divide, I like that let's just build it. I like that it gives you this like one-way loop and you have to turn around. I like that a lot. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to leave that here. This front area is a little strange. I don't think there's like anything we can do about any of that. So we're just going to leverage some beautiful trees and some landscaping to kind of disguise some of this and just call it a day. Place down some oaks. We'll place down some of these hickory trees wherever we can get them to fit. Happy with that. I might even anarchy 1 or 2 of them onto this building itself. Place one more here, and then we'll do a little bit of these spruces, and I think that's perfect. Just enough to fill in this area, make it look nice. has dedicated parking behind it. That's great. All right, so now we've got some healthcare. We don't need to worry about death care per se. We've got, that's trash. We've got number of crematoriums. There's not enough available, but we're not seeing a major death wave. We could entertain doing another crematorium over here. They do cost $240,000, which is quite expensive. And the closest one, there's one right there. Honestly, I think we hold on the crematorium for now. I don't think we need it. Garbage, we're doing just fine. We don't need to worry about that. We will need a school. We're going to need an elementary school and a high school. Now, this is kind of hard because I haven't built the area yet, so I don't exactly know what we're going to need. But I think if we look at the size of this area, I mean, it's similar to Horsham Flats, which currently has 2 elementary schools that service it, as well as a larger high school. So why don't we think about building a... Let's do the EE High School. We've not built that yet. Let's place this somewhere in here. We could even do... No, it's actually quite large. I don't think that's going to fit in that way. Let's do the City High School, mainly because I know I like this building. And it kind of fits perfectly in this area. That looks great. I do want to select operating district. This is going to be South 2nd, Cypress, Manor Glen, if anyone lives there, although I don't think many people will. And we also need to build out an elementary school in this area. I'm really interested in this 100 student capacity one. I don't think that's going to work in this space though. So maybe what we do instead is a small high school. So these are all the elementary schools we have are right there at the front. No, we have a few others down here. Maybe we look into something like the French elementary school. Or what's this Japanese elementary? It's very large. Like kind of crazily large. I just can't, we can't build that. That's just not going to work. Let's do a French elementary school because we have these areas here with key walls on them. So I could see this kind of nestling in here right on the corner. Looks beautiful, but it'll be kind of disguised in this area. Somehow you already have 129 students going to, even though you have no one living in your districts. So we're going to shut that down. We've got elementary. We've got high. We've got medical. Do we need to consider fire? It wouldn't hurt to have some type of dedicated fire over in this area. Maybe what we do is we place one of these firehouses kind of over in this area. What are you overlapping? Could you tell me kind of a bit more specifically what we're overlapping? Because I don't think we're overlapping anything right here. So we're going to anarchy this in. I just think with the large parking lot style to it, that could work really well there. It does have an upgrade for more space for engines with 4 additional engines. But I think that's going to kind of be the fire coverage for most of this area. That'll work for me. I'm happy with that. We have not done anything with disasters, and frankly, I haven't had one yet, knock on wood, so I think we're okay. Now, police, we only have 1 police station for the whole city, which is not working out. So I think we should probably consider getting a second one. We have 6 patrol cars here, 6 here, 6, 6, 16 at the city police station, which I believe is what we have built over there. There's an EE police station, which has 10. And there's a modern police station which has 8. In terms of price, the city police station is the most expensive. Jail capacity, relatively the same. These two are very similar. This is a little bit cheaper for less cars. However, it does have kind of like a built-in parking lot, although I don't know if that's going to be kind of the vibe for this area. This guy, again, has a lot of things happening in front of it. I don't want this to, I want this to kind of blend in with everything. So I think we're going to place the city police station. I know we already have one on the other side, but I think we're going to place this facing along Belmont Street. I like just how compact it is and that we can have buildings kind of come right up to the edge. Now, we have a dedicated parking lot behind our clinic. That's a little bit taller of a building. I don't necessarily think any of these other buildings are going to get their own dedicated parking. What I will do is try to sneak in a few trees right here along the back. Looks okay, but now we've got like a nice little area next to the school. And I think this square could become a parking lot if we have one that fits. Technically, that would fit if I didn't place that path there, but I like the path. So the next best option is going to be this. I'm going to place it along Belmont. Or maybe I'll place it along Fairview, so you turn off of Belmont. Because Belmont is becoming somewhat of, it looks like just a busy road. And I will just quickly place a few more trees in here to kind of fill in this section and make it feel nice. Now, the last thing we need over here, we've got police, we've got fire. I wouldn't mind having another administrative building, although to be totally honest, I don't think there's going to be much of a place for this. Now, we do have this Japanese health and wellness office, and we have the EE welfare office. I think the EE welfare office in terms of size might be a bit more what I'm going for. Although I like the way this one looks, the way it's set up with having the trees surrounding it, that feels a bit more suburban to me. So why don't we go ahead and place an EE welfare office, local welfare office, standard large panel system building, many other types of buildings, schools, post office, social buildings, etc. were made from the same concrete prefabs. Why don't we place this? Can't fit on this side, but it literally can perfectly fit right there. I think we're going to do that. It's pink, which that's unique for sure. We're going to limit this to South 2nd Manor and Cypress. This is just for this side of this area for now. We might change that later. I don't necessarily think I need to worry about any kind of zoning along here. Too many trees. We could put some zoning here along the front. And speaking of, I think it's time we start doing some zoning. We've got demand across the board. Now, because I was thinking of this as kind of similar to South Philly, in my mind, this was going to get EE medium density row housing predominantly. We've not done this type of row housing anywhere else, so I think it would look nice. Okay, for now, before we go any further, let's just move these items over here, these sewage outlets. I want to start considering maybe in the next part setting up a new sewage output area. But for now, this will do. We're just going to connect these up to each other. Send this all the way along here. And connect it right up into there. Do you guys need your own dedicated power or no? Are you good? Looks like everything is fine there. We can go ahead and remove some of this. Get rid of these. Bring this all the way back to here maybe. Beautiful. Everybody's fine? You're all fine? Okay, great. So we've moved these over. One of them is not connected though. Hold on. I've done this to myself. Let's upgrade this guy just into a sewage pipe, not a water pipe. There we go. So now it's just sewage. That should be working fine. This is so ugly. Just ignore it. It's not going to stay this way for long. I also had built a key wall. It didn't work and then I deleted it and now we're stuck with this whole area is going to be redone. Everything here is working correctly though, which is great. Let's get some more people in here and start getting just, more zoning done. I was going to do this EE medium density. What I want to do is I want to limit that density to be very much facing one direction. So let's just limit some of this now. We're going to go like this. We'll come back and fix those in a moment. All of these are going to face to the outside. This here, if I go like that, I can have all of you face the outside as well. Yes. This here, we're going to go like this, and like this, and like this. I think I can probably get rid of this little piece. All these paths eventually will be gone, but for the moment, I want to have everybody living facing the exterior sides of this area. Is that the right way? I think it is. Looks good enough. All that looks good, These guys, no, you're not going to be there. This, I think there's a lot we could do with that. For this, I do want people to begin facing this direction along this avenue. So why don't we go ahead? Let's just start filling in all of this. Oop, already things are wrong. Already. All right, pathway right here, pathway right here, pathway right here. There we go. Get some people facing that way. Get some people facing this way. Once that edge piece fills in, then we can come back. I am going to remove the small guys. I want you to take full leverage of this space. You have got the room. Build the appropriate size house. Because Lord knows, I don't always give you guys enough space for your homes. So now we're trying to fix that. So we're going to have some beautiful row homes here. I also think right in this area will be row homes as well. Once we get those edge ones to fill in, then we can come back in and remove the tiny guys. And then I think what we could consider doing is getting a little bit of height when we come over this direction. So I'm going to switch back over to the American style, and we're going to do the medium density housing. I'm going to place really just along the whole edge here. I honestly think I want to back these up a little bit. I don't want them to be that big. I want them to be a little bit smaller. And then here we can delete these two pieces of road, switch back over to the European, place the low density all along there. Absolutely beautiful. And then this area, we're actually just going to delete these. I might do something a little bit more unique in this section. What yet? I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to see what we come up with. Along the edge here, we are going to do the urban promenades, but we're only going to place them, I think, 4 tiles back. Maybe here, if we can do some 3, we'll do it. But I don't want to place too many buildings in this area. But I think the urban promenades with the palm trees we have will look really nice. We'll place a little bit more of that right here. This area is really difficult for us to zone at the moment. So that's going to get some commercial. I did like this EE low density. We just turn both of these on and see what we got going on. We could also consider some EU high density office. Do we want to just test it out and see what we get? I don't even think we need anything here. Actually, let's do offices in this area. Just some flat offices. We're also going to remove this little section here. I think what we could do is even consider a little alleyway just for fun. We're going to do a one-way alleyway. Bring it down to ground level. Connect it from here straight on through. Let's turn on constant slope. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. I do kind of wish these were a bit more next door to each other, and I'm fearing that the height of those is maybe a bit too much. So actually what's going to happen here is we're going to switch those out. Those are going to become these buildings as well. I think it just looks nicer, and it just makes more sense for this area. Get rid of that. Let's do those instead. This has got some weird stuff happening here. They didn't even fill out that far back. That's fine. Why don't we then, using this surface, this guy has this color surface here. I am a fan. I think that looks really nice. Why don't we take this surface kind of right along the back here? Okay, so now this area just has a pathway going all the way through, and then we've got some palm trees around it. I think that looks great. And then we've got our offices over here. That looks pretty decent. They are exactly the same, which I don't necessarily love, but I'm not too mad about it. Now, coming up into this area, I do think we want to go ahead. Let's just get rid of this and see what happens if we were to remove both of these. We'll turn our speed back down to 1 because things are getting a little dicey. Do we want more row homes here? I could see this getting a little bit taller. Exactly how is unclear to me. I didn't really like the way that these medium density houses looked in this section. Actually, you know what? I know what I want here. I know what I want. I want to have some French low density, or excuse me, low rent housing right there. I think that'll look awesome. We're actually going to remove this guy here. Get rid of both of these. I'm not ready for you yet. I need you to hold on. Get rid of both of those. There we go. Now add this back in, get rid of this. And what we can do is we can then take a small little alleyway just for fun and move that straight on up into here. It did cause some issues with this zoning, which is so strange. So let's just fix that real quick. There we go. On pause. So we're gonna get a few more buildings there. And I think right here could be a bit more of these row homes, mainly because I want this area to have a lot of row homes. I think that's gonna feel really nice. Let's go ahead and just go. Do they go 6 back? They do. Oh, these are like the fancy row homes. Now, why in the world would you build these tiny guys when you could build all that? I mean, that's a house, girl. You're going to have a yard in the city. Good for you. Okay, so this is coming together nicely. I do think I need some trees along this central area here. Let's just go ahead and do a little bit of those. One thing this neighborhood and this whole area does not have is a park. And I could see us... One of these days, I got to leave room for one of these. This community city park, I think, could look really cool here. It's just not going to fit. It could fit if we were down here, but then we'd have to move that avenue. I don't want to do that. It could also fit over here, but I don't want to mess any of that up. Could we do a large plaza? No, we could not. We could... no, we can't fit it there either. We could maybe fit one like right here. Let's just do it and see what we get. I don't mind that. You have all these buildings facing this road. That kind of looks nice. Then maybe what happens is with this large plaza there, we come behind and we do a one-way alleyway. I don't know why it's getting weird like that. So the one-way avenue from here to here. It has a little bit of a bump in the middle. I'm not upset about that. But this gives us another way, another area to start zoning on. Let's come over here. Put a little path. Put a little path. I think for this section, we do have this height here with this building. So what we could consider is doing the medium density, but let's only go like 3 back. Maybe do like a little 4 guy there, another 3 guy here. Let's do some smaller things. Let's see what we get. It might work. It might work. Then I think along this area behind our police station, we could consider another parking lot, or even though it's a major avenue, we could force the zoning along this road. And let's just throw in some more single family homes over here, or some row homes here. I actually want to, let's preserve just 1 row of that. Sorry guys, give me 1 row of that. This is going to have some trees in here that's going to make that area look a little bit nicer. Okay, it's coming together. It's coming together. How is this looking with these buildings? It's a little bit small for my taste, but I think we can get into it. This is a bit more, I think, what we're looking for, that much better depth there. All right, all that's filling in. That's going to look great. We've got a nice little area here. I will say I like that this French elementary school kind of mirrors the white look you get on the sides of these urban promenades mixed housing. This here is not working for me. I can tell you right now, this is not exactly what I was hoping for when we built this. How are we doing on our unemployment? Still 30%. Why don't we go ahead and do a little bit more of this mixed use urban promenades, because that looks really nice right there. I think we just come in here and we do a whole square of that right along this edge. I don't understand why you guys would be so small. I don't know. I don't know. Get rid of this. I'm not ready for this yet. We need some more time to think about this. We've got some large blocks that need filling, and I just want to make sure we do them right. In here, we could get away with, I think, a little bit more French low rent housing. I want it to be along this road, though, and I want the big ones. There we go. That's the one I want. Like, I think that's like the U or the H. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's even do it this way. If we go here and we do low rent, Here we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Residential, low rent. There's that shape. There's this H. There's this building. Okay, let's do this. Sorry, buddy. You gotta go. Delete. Let's place these ourselves just because I think this is going to look much nicer if we place this right here, go here, lock it at level 2. How many people can you hold? 100 households. That's perfect. Do 1, 2, and we're going to do 3, but then we're going to use move it to just scooch this over like so. Let's go ahead and lock both of these at level 2. I think that's great. All of these houses are desperately going to need their own parking. So let's see if we can fit a parking lot across the street. And I'm talking like a parking lot. Like I want a parking lot. And then with that in place, it's coming together. It's coming together. Let's do another one-way. Let's send the one-way out like so. Hope that didn't mess anything up there. We are having some hearse issues over here, so we're gonna have to deal with that. I think we're gonna do a few trees around this area, and I'll do some of that off camera or maybe in between parts. But I think there's some decorations we could do there. How is the traffic going? Absolutely abysmal. There is a accident right here at the entrance, which I don't know if that's ever gonna get cleared out, but look at this traffic. It goes all the way back this way. All the way over here. Someone died in their car. It goes all the way down this way. Look at this traffic. That's terrible. There's even more down there. But this is all because there's an accident right up here. This accident has completely blocked anyone being able to get out. Involved in an accident. Who's coming to you? Anyone? Are you going to get help? How long are you going to be there? You're involved in an accident. Is anyone coming here? It doesn't look like any of you can get past. How do we get rid of these? I'm not entirely sure what we do about all this. Oh, there we go. The cars disappeared. So now we're starting to see some more people come back in. Fantastic. Little bit of a backup here at this intersection. That's okay. How is our college doing real quick? 3,400 people. That's fantastic. All right. So what I wanted to finish out the day with was building out a new central station, although I'm afraid we can't really afford it. That's $500,000. Let's go ahead and just speed this up a little bit. All around, we're making money and things are going pretty good, but I just think that we are struggling to bring in enough money as quickly as we're spending it. The service rate, we're still making $500,000 from our electricity. Unfortunately, we have dipped into the negative for the electricity, so I am going to slowly begin to get rid of. Oh, there's more consumption because it's cheaper. Duh. Why did I read that backwards the last time?
Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
And we'll see if that ends up kind of correcting itself because the consumption should end up going down. All right, last thing I wanted to try to accomplish today, we'll slow this puppy back down. Let's get a sense of what options we have for train stations. So we've got a small train station. We know we don't want to do that. We have the medium train station. We have a cargo train, which eventually we will have to get into. We have an EE train station, regular train station, local train station, central train station, EE central train station, historic central station, and the French train station. I'm thinking I want to use the historic central station. I think this would be a fantastic addition. It's got 5 platforms, so it's not terribly large. We've been using the French train station, which has 2 platforms. I think what I like about this is like the old nature of that building in the front. I think that could look really nice here. It's got the ability to have expansions up to 5 platforms. There is also this guy. We can't afford it. It probably looks fantastic. It's got 7 train platforms. Here's the thing. So I know we're going to have this train coming in. And then I think I might also try to have some cargo coming around this way. We're going to have another train line go out to Cyprus. But I don't think we need like all of these train stations. We don't need 7, that's for sure. And even if I get this upgraded so we have 2 trains coming in, that's 1, 2, and then third would be the one going over to Cyprus. Yeah, I don't think we need more than that. So let's see if we can figure this out. First and foremost, I think we need to get this train line down to the ground. I think if I try to do this before we get this to the ground, we're going to be totally screwed. So if I were to take this and I were to get it to the 180 and just rotate, I mean, that's intense. But we could buy this section of land and place it over here. It's a 6.2. Or we raise it up to here. It's only 4.1 at that point. We cross it over the road at the 180. Then we purchase this tile of land, which is going to become useful in a moment because then we can start dealing with this horrendous interchange. Actually, before we go any further, just for the sake of my own well-being, let's go ahead and upgrade this to 2 lanes, 2 lanes, 2 lanes. Upgrade this to 3 lanes, 3 lanes, 3 lanes. 4 lanes, 4 lanes, 4 lanes. Get crazy here, people. Just start moving. You can do it. I'm not too worried about the other side. I know that traffic jam is worse, but once these people get cleared out and they're so close, that's going to be able to move so much faster. So now with this, it does come down about 4%, but that's a decent run. What we would want to be able to figure out is where exactly the central train station goes over here. So first, I think we got to look at the land. It's not actually that bad. What? Okay, I'm excited. Let's bring this down. Bring it down to 0. I am comfortable with something under 5. So, because we're starting to go back downhill, we're fighting against ourselves. Let's grab this level here and let's level this out all the way. Come back later, we'll make it look nice. But in the meantime, I do just want to get this set up. And so to do that, we got to just get some things moving. That's 4.9, less than 5. I'll take it. Can we then still fit the historic train station in here? We're doing it. This historic train station is going to go right here. Here's what's going to happen now. Now that we have that there, get rid of this. Come back over here and keep playing. But actually, before you play, let's just turn this off for the moment so that we're saving some money. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take this train line. We're essentially going to do the exact same thing that we already did. Straight on down and in. Beautiful. So now we've got this double train track that's going to go and curve around in front of our train station. Let's go ahead and plan to do... Do we plan to do an avenue? That's the question. I almost feel like we do. I almost feel like we get a 4-lane divided road. It goes right here in front of our train station and connects perfectly straight into this road here. Then, can I put trees on it in the middle? Yes. Yes. All right. We are going to place actually this tree exactly. That's perfect. Just like that on this road for now. This third track, I need to have a train that then starts going over here into Cypress. The first stop on that train is going to be somewhere over here. So what we need to figure out is how to make that happen. So far, we have no level crossings anywhere. And if we look at our ground, this is all relatively flat. These are coming downhill, so them being over top of the road is not a problem. This would have to go up to then only come back down again, and I don't necessarily love that. What I'd rather see us do is, first of all, figure out where this line is going to be over here. I think the line is going to be somewhere like this, with the train station like right around here somewhere, maybe. Who knows? We're going to do that right there. I think that's great. I'm a fan. This could eventually get high enough that we could cross over. That's only at 5. If we were to get to 8.7, we are below my self-imposed rule of 5% or less. Hold on. Hold on. Pause real quick. Let's get rid of these power lines. And let's do it like this. Let's put these power lines underground. All right, turning off this transformer station. We don't actually need it at the moment because no power is being produced over here and we're exporting a ton of power. All the power is going out. So there's no power coming in through these lines into this transformer. At the moment, it seems like everyone's okay. There's no bottlenecks. It doesn't look like there's any issues. So we're just going to keep kind of moving right along without it. For now, though, let's get back to this train line because we're almost nearing the end of today's episode. So we're able to make this into a bridge pretty easily without causing any problems. I think we do it. Let's just bridge right over that section and then begin to work our way back over there. It's going to cause us to have a break right here in this like larger area. But honestly, I think I'm okay with it. If we bring it over here, it goes down negative 2.1. And I can bring it down to negative 2.8. And then what we can do is, I think we do keep this here level. I think this comes straight on out. We do a level crossing over that road. Just call it a day. Right? Right? Then we need to get from here over to there. So, be on our curve here. Grab this. We want to connect up to this piece right here. If I do this curve, and let's just start raising it up some. I'm fine with a negative 0.8, because then if I come and connect right into this, what's the percentage? 4.2? Like, let's go. Let's go. Some things I do want to make changes for because I think it'll look better if we do this the right way. I think we come over here. All of this for sure gets like that kind of wall. And I think at least on this side, like the first one at a minimum gets that wall as well. I don't think we need that wall all the way up. Actually, I'm going to undo this. I've messed everything up. Hold on. This needs to be this. Update into this. Make it a raised. Yeah. This side here, I want this to be this kind of wall. I would love to get this to go all the way to there. I think the easiest way to do that is just going to be grab and move it and just move this up to here. That way they're perfectly matching. Those have these beautiful walls on them. I actually am going to even take this a bit further and do this on all of it. Yep, that's perfect. We still have tons of traffic. How is this doing? This is moving now, which is great. It's far better than it was before. The traffic jam symbol is not until here, and then they begin to feed their way out. So we'll eventually get that sorted. And then for this guy here, at the moment, it's just going to dead end like this. I don't have any intention of taking these train lines further right now. So what we're going to do is just come around here and smooth this out for the time being. Once we get a little bit further along and we kind of know what we want to see over in this section, this could become very different. But for now, this is what it's going to get. It's going to look like this. And I'm okay with that. Let's just grab this, go like this, go like that. Perfect. There's that historic train station at the top of the hill. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, let's turn this back on. It costs $66,000 a month. Let's then make a quick change here to this train line. We're going to just pause for a moment. We're going to take this train line all the way over to here, just like that. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Amazing. You look great. Then this is going to connect here. This is going to connect here. All right. So now this train line whatever it is. I do not remember what it's called. Hold on. Boulder Hill line now is, one of the best lines ever. Okay, so the Boulder Hill line now comes from this central train station into Trafford College. It loops around and hits over here in Boulder Hill, and then it continues further north and comes down here to Ortega. Now, what's nice about this line is this line can then continue going this direction up here, while we have another line that's going to go this direction down here. Plus, we've set up our line for Cypress to go up this way, and we have a new line that can go this direction up into Northfield, which, by the way, how you doing, Northfield? 2600? That has not probably addressed it's actually only gotten worse. Okay, great. I'm just going to ignore that. I am going to remove this this transformer station, I think, for now. And then this has way too many deceased to even begin to function properly. But what we're going to do is we are going to give it some more hearses. I don't know why there's a strange like mod error almost when placing the asset that clicks to error Y null hearse garage. I couldn't even pretend to act like I understand what that means. All right, so we've got this. This is a bit of a tight turn, but I'm okay with that. It gives us this area here to interact with. I don't think there's any world where this would be able to connect up there. It's just too much of a change in height. We could consider kind of reworking this whole area later on and having the train lines come straight on out, having them cross over onto one another, and then having them go back in. And we can maybe even build another rail yard out this way. But I think all around that looks pretty nice. Still having tons of hearse issues over here. I'm almost half tempted to be like, let's only have a hearse function over here. But in the meantime, let's take a French crematorium and let's just slap this in here somewhere. And it can work exclusively for these people. Maybe we'll place it right here on the water's edge. Or better yet, I'm going to place it right there. It's going to take over 2 houses, but you are only working here, period. Only there, nowhere else. Oh, I'm so excited. Can I see this train? We have 2 trains on here. Do we want to give this some upgrades? Extra platform. We don't need this yet, but we could place that in the future. An extra entry point to the station on the back side of the building will require a road to be placed at the rear of the station for optimal use. We're definitely going to be doing that because I think that's going to be amazing, especially once we fill out all this area with more zoning and housing. We're going to want that for sure. And then we also have the access to commercial businesses, add small shops and cafes inside and in front of the station, increases comfort level, and decreases maintenance costs through commercial renters. Doing that. All right, we have 56 comfort. There's no people waiting. Let's see. We got 10 passengers at Elizabeth Crossing. This is Boulder Hill. This is this stop now, Historic Central Station. I do need a name for it, but we'll come up with that, I think, in the next part. For now, I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. We got everything finished that we were hoping for. Here comes the train. Is anybody on it? You have 6 people. That's amazing. You look great. We've got a lot of work done here in South 2nd, and I'm happy with how it's turning out. I need to do some detailing through here, which we'll do in a detailers episode off camera. What in the world has happened to this? Why are you like that? How'd you get so tall? 2 object. Come back down. You don't need to be that high. That was strange. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.